We just passed my palatial estate over here on Orcas Island.
So here's the map.
We're heading toward Lopez for a brief stop before we go on to Friday Harbor on our divided trip here to San Juan Islands. Half of us made the first ferry in 3:10, and the rest of us are here at 6:20.
Who was the last one in the ferry line, Nathan?
Going over to Friday Harbor. The leader was the last one to show up. So let's hope that's not indicative of
Front Street to Spring. Oh, Front Street.
Yeah, because this is a one-way. So
We're now studying maps of San Juan Island, figuring out how we're going to get to where we need to go.
No, you go to road.
On our way to San Juan Island, we just made a brief stop here at Lopez. And now we'll be headed to Friday Harbor. Well, we've ridden from Friday Harbor over to the campground, and most of the tents have been put up. A few still going up. And it's 9 p.m. and still fairly bright. Good morning. Today's the 4th of July. Bright sunny day. And it's just after 8 o'clock in the morning. People are up and eating breakfast. Well, I am at Roach Harbor. I'm going to ride the island counterclockwise. And this is in the marina area. Lots of people. It's all decked out for the 4th of July. They had a running race this morning, and they're coming in. Times are, low time was just below 20 minutes. Now they're up around 27 minutes. Lots of people here today, and you can see this boat here is very decked out for the 4th. There'll be fireworks here tonight, which we're planning on coming down to see after we have a potluck. We run excursions out here for sea kayaking. This walkway is made of brick with lots of names on them, and Owen shows up many times here, I notice, along with Cohen. Some more of the harbor, and the race is 2.5 miles. You can probably still hear the audio in the background. We're up to about 12-minute miles now.
We're not sure what the cutoff is, though. What would you like to see?
I've ridden now down to English camp, or the British camp, and this was the British enclave here. In 1859, you had the pig war, dispute over the killing of a pig, and a lot of this dealt with who owned the island, Britain or the United States, because the line between Canada and the United States through the San Juan and Gulf Islands was in dispute. And arbitration, I believe by Germany in 1872, placed the San Juan Islands in the territory of the United States, and the British left. The information center here at British Camp, where they have a little video telling you about the British occupation and the American occupation on the south end of the island. The occupation lasted for 12 years, and Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany made the decision that the United States actually owned San Juan Island, and in 1872, after the decision, the British left, giving all the buildings to the U.S. The British had a formal garden which has been reconstructed. This is one of the original photos, and the garden is right here, fully reconstructed. A very nice stand of Shasta daisies. You can hear some chainsaws in the background. The firefighters are doing some training here. They're out right near the parking area. Very nice bay. The officers originally lived up here on this little shelf overlooking Garrison Bay, and later the senior officer built another house one shelf up. From the officers' quarters area, you have a beautiful view of the formal garden and Garrison Bay. This is the replacement quarters for the commanding officer on the upper shelf. Very little remains of the house. This monument says that Wilhelm I, Emperor of Germany, decided the San Juan case October 21st, 1872. This is directly in front of the rebuilt officers' quarters on the upper shelf, overlooking Garrison. I've come down to Snug Harbor, and you can see some kayakers just going out into the bay. Very quiet and peaceful. There's a small marina here, much smaller than Roach Harbor. And a small store and some rental cabins right on the waterfront. And this is where I've chosen to rest for a little while, eat half a sandwich. I'm at San Juan County Park. There's a group of kayakers getting ready to go out. And out a little further, there's some all the way doing their thing. Beautiful. Small breeze coming up.
Beautiful 4th of July we're having. Very good company. Couldn't have a prettier day. We're looking across here, this San Juan Sound or something, looking at British Columbia.
We might be looking at Harrow Strait.
Harrow Strait. She's cheating. She has a map.
Right.
And that's Vancouver Island in Canada.
I don't know about that.
That's pretty
Sure.
far south.
And right above us is the lighthouse.
You see Victoria, BC on the map there? That's
Yeah.
on Vancouver Island. So that shows you.
You think
we are
that is where
looking.
we're looking right here?
Oh yeah.
The snow-capped
This is the
peaks
island.
are just
it's so close.
wonderful.
It's a huge island. I mean, it's like
So-
a,
So this is the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. And around that point is the Strait of Juan de Fuca, going out to the Pacific. The crows are active. Well, move closer to the lighthouse and you can hear a beep. And there's a group of volunteers here helping to interpret whale watching but they haven't seen any since last night. Looking towards the south, you can see the kayakers with a pleasure boat going by. I've walked over to the kiln that was used for converting calcium carbonate to lime, built in 1918, and this plaque depicts the story of how it works. The calcium carbonate, the rock, was put in the top. A fire was built underneath it, and it cooked for a day or so at about 2,000 degrees, and then they raked out the lime. This is a pile of old used fire brick that evidently had been in the kiln for many years. The white color is lime, I'm sure, sitting on this rock, and it's right on the bay here. Turning right around from the last scene, you can see the kiln up on the hill. When in operation, the kiln consumed 3.5 quarts of wood a day. From above, you can see where the ore was put into the kiln in about 6-inch chunks. And you can also see the kayakers out there. And I just spotted this other group of kayakers. I'm on False Bay Road towards the southern tip of the island, and this is, I believe, False Bay. You can see that the tide is way out. In the center of the frame, you can see some people walking way out in the mud flats. We're now at American Camp, and you can see Old Glory just waving away. You're looking at an eagle's nest. If you look very careful, I think we can see a little bit of a tail feather move every once in a while.
You can see his whole body.
There he
he
is.
just lifted his wings up in the air.
Yeah, you can see the wings go up. And I see.
You know, I see more than one.
Yeah.
That must be one of the babies on the left there. See? Movement around. Spooked, I think.
This is right by the interpretive center here at American Camp.
Yeah, flipping in the air. Oh my God.
Now, can you do that?
Talk about posing.
Hurry up, Chad, hurry up, Chad.
Boy, I wish I had a zoom. He's got a zoom video camera. I can't.
Get it, Chad?
No, not really. I got lots of shots, Mom. Did you hear me clicking?
No.
Clicking and clicking. I got them when they were both had their wings out.
This is the 4th of July. We are at Roach Harbor. It's 9 p.m. and this is a ceremony retiring the colors. It's the 4th of July, but they're retiring the Canadian colors too. So here comes the Union Jack.
And our color guard, they're grandfather tragically lost his life due to a fireworks accident. I'm really proud to see five of his grandchildren up there doing colors, I know, and the stars above and the heavens above. He's very proud of them right now. Roach Harbor is a big tradition to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for these fine, young, outstanding citizens. Sean, Kenny, Ryan, Sissy.
I think these are just private ones from the grass area.
Hey, what? I gotta work at 4 in the morning.
The dock scene here at Roach Harbor. And these are the warm-ups. The restaurant. And the lights way over there at the hotel. What you're seeing is just private parties setting stuff off at the water edge.
What?
Well, the fireworks is over for another year. Well, almost over. Well, good morning. It's 6:30 on the 5th of July. People are starting to get up for breakfast. And we just noticed that we have some company down here by the water. Still pretty quiet, only 4 or 5 of us are up. We're trying to catch an 8:40 ferry to go to Lopez and Orcas Islands. Good afternoon. It's just after 12:30 and 4 of us are driving up our bikes up Mount Constitution on Orcas Island. So I'm about halfway up, I would guess. It's a very steep road, very beautiful view. The lake right below us is the one at the roadhead coming up Mount Constitution. The road does a very steady and not so gentle climb. This is a typical switchback. The grade is something better than 6%. I would guess more like 8 or 9 at places. Okay, we're at the very top of Mount Constitution on Orcas. And you can see it's a beautiful day. Took about between an hour and 25 minutes depending on which one you want to talk to. Ray did it the quickest, and Ron, and then Terry. And Bob is still working. Moved around and looking towards the north now.
You can see the Canadian coast.
Sure can.
Right over there. It's all Canada up there. It is? Yep. It's not too far off the way it starts. Yes.
And a big broadcast tower up here.
Now,
Hello, we're at the top of Mount Constitution.
4.
Hello.
Ron, Ray, Bob, and Terry. Good morning, July 6th, Sunday, and the group has come to Shaw Island for several hours before heading back to Portland. Beth and Ron went straight home this morning, and the rest of us are cycling around the island. Beautiful day. Well, we've been riding around Shaw here and came across this private airport. And I'm looking to the southwest, and the runway slants down. Todd, you should try this sometime, although it's a private airport. Now we're regrouping here. Rick came up. Just came up a nice steep hill.
Hi there.
Squaw Bay is the nesting area for a large number of seabirds, so they ask you to be very careful.
Don't say that about Terry. That's such a bad thing to say.
Lagoon are rich feeding, nesting, and resting areas for boids. Many species, from bald eagles to sanderlings, are often here. Please do not go out on spit or remove driftwood beach. Don't spit. And tidelands are privately owned. Is there a period somewhere in there? Please enjoy the view and help us to preserve the beauty of the
Thanks. Everybody smile. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Who are you?
I'm Ray.
Janet. Oh.
Martha.
Robbie. Bernie. Claire. What about Annette?
Claire?
I'm the other house.
Bob? Come on.
Get Ricket.
And we're at the county park here on Shaw Island.
We're living the rough life.
Yeah, real rough. Looking down the beach the other direction. Yeah, Lisa's up there with Ray. Rick's going up. We're at the ferry docks here at Shaw. Bob is showing off his bike. The docks are run by a group of nuns. Small beach here next to the docks. Yeah, and a nice bay.
Oh, really? Yeah.
This is our ferry. It's a few minutes before 1:45. And just to the right of the ferry are the docks at Orcas, where I just left and pulled out a little ways and then stopped, and now it's going forward, so I had to kind of flip around. We're waiting at the docks, and it looks like we are going to be able to make this 1:45 ferry. They're putting more than 6 cars on. People, well, we did make the ferry, and we will be home on time. Beautiful.